The Food Safety Modernization Act has an important deadline coming up. The 2011 law was one of the many topics at this weekend's Southeast Regional Fruit and Vegetable Growers Conference in Savannah, Georgia. SoutheastProduceWeekly.com's Chip Carter caught up with a food safety specialist for an update.
I'm in Savannah, Georgia at the Southeast Regional Fruit and Vegetable Growers Conference. I'm with Michelle Danyluk, a food safety specialist from the University of Florida, IFAS. She's just completed a very popular, very well-attended session here. And Michelle, with good reason, we're looking at a very important deadline for FSMA.
We sure are. Coming up this year on January 26th, so just a couple of weeks from now, we have the first compliance date for the produce safety rule for the largest farms to come into compliance with that regulation. It's a big deal for a lot of those farms.
Now, there's more to come beyond produce, but for produce growers, this is really the hurdle to clear.
Yeah, for especially our biggest produce growers, this is for sure the biggest hurdle they have to hear. Those large farms, those one with more than $500,000 a year in sales, this is their compliance date to comply with the rule. Now, we do have good news from FDA. They've delayed inspections, so they're not going to start any inspections until 2019, but we've hit the compliance date, so those growers do need to be ready for the produce rule.
Now, when we look at that announcement earlier from FDA that said there will be, to some degree, selective enforcement of some of these, what are they going to be selective about, and what do growers really need to be prepared for, and what can they have a little more leeway
Yeah,
with?
so we've got a couple of things going on with that delayed enforcement and some of the recent notifications from FDA. The most recent delayed enforcement notice that came out last week, January 4th, specifically has to do with packing houses that would be hitting a compliance date, especially those that fall under one of the other rules, the preventive control rule. And by that delayed enforcement notice, what FDA has said is don't expect to see us anytime soon. We're still working through guidance. We're still working through figuring out exactly what you need to do to comply with this rule.
So FSMA compliance is bearing down. It is straight ahead. The good news is there will be a little breathing room. In Savannah, Georgia, I'm Chip Carter from SoutheastProduceWeekly.com reporting for RFD-TV.
We'll get more information on the Food Safety Modernization Act, including educational resources like webcasts at FDA.gov.